I save $25,000 every year with these 5 simple habits. Even though I work a high-paying job in Los Angeles, I still feel the pressure to keep up with city life while still dreaming of financial freedom. In this video, I'll share the exact habits that help me save consistently, build wealth, and improve my quality of life. We'll break down these habits into actionable steps without sacrificing the things that you love. So, let's get into it. The first habit to save money is to eat all of your meals at home instead of getting takeout. I know it's hard to find the time to make your own meals or learn how to cook, and so the secret here is to find easy to cook weekday meals that you can replicate time and time again. So my girlfriend and I, we really like to follow a few Instagram bloggers. Ambitious Kitchen, Brock Your Body, and The Mediterranean Dish are 3 of our favorites. And what we do is we find reels or recipes that we think that we would be interested in making. And then once we make it, if we like the meal, we'll put it into a Notion template where we can track exactly what the recipe was, rate it 1 to 5, and really just save all of our favorite recipes in one place so that we have our own cookbook. In LA, it costs about $20 for an average takeout meal versus $4 if you make your own meal from home. And so if you go out to eat 5 times a week on takeout, that'll end up being $4,160 over the course of a year that you can save just by making the change of making your meals at home. It's gonna be more rewarding, you're gonna feel healthier, you're gonna feel fit, and it's just something fun that you can do with friends or a loved one and build a new skill of learning how to cook and find that joy in cooking. The next habit that's really helped me save money is one that I'm actually pretty passionate about, and it's cutting out alcohol completely. When you go out with your friends to bars, it can easily run you $150 a night. That's gonna cost not just the drinks that you're gonna buy for yourself, it'll be the drinks that you buy for your friends, it'll be the Uber so that you can get to and from the place safely. If you go out to eat with your friends beforehand, either before or afterwards, that's gonna be added on to the cost of the night. I was easily spending $150 a night when I was going out. If I was going out to drink with my friends once a week, 52 times a year, that's gonna be $7,800 worth in savings by just cutting out alcohol. Once I cut it out, I felt healthier, I've been more productive, but the hard part for me was figuring out how to fill that extra time on the weekends because my friends, they liked to go out, and now all of a sudden that wasn't happening. And so what ended up happening for me was instead of hanging out with a larger group of people that I didn't really have deep connections with, my social circle shrunk to about 5 people that I would want to spend every weekend with. At first, they were confused as to why I didn't want to go out to the bars with them, but once they started to understand that I was prioritizing my health, after a couple of weeks, they stopped asking me to even go out and drink with them anymore. And what happened instead was we would have home-cooked meals together, or we would have board game nights and really just have more meaningful conversation. Alcohol is a lowest common denominator where people go out and drink together and that's all that they have in common. When you take it out, what you really need to do is have meaningful conversations or start to pick up new hobbies to connect with other people so that you can actually have something else that you can connect with them about. Not only does it save me almost $8,000 a year now, I feel healthier and I just feel more connected with the people that I really care about, which at the end of the day is one of the most important things that I'm always aspiring to do a better job at. Oh, and by the way, if you're liking the video so far, then you should consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. The next thing that I do is to drive a paid off car. I used to lease my car, and every 2 years that meant that I would need to be in the market to get a new car. I thought it was great at the time because every 2 years I would get raises at my job and that meant that I could get a nicer car. But what that ends up doing is putting you on the hamster wheel where you are spending money as an expense every month to drive your car and you're actually not getting any ownership in anything. 4 years went by and I spent thousands of dollars on a car and I didn't have anything to show for it. So at the end of my second lease, I actually bought out the lease to my Volkswagen GTI and my payments went up for a little bit. So I was spending $500 a month for the next 3 years until I paid off my car. But 3 years ago, I paid my car off and now I saved that $500 a month, which is $6,000 over the course of a year. By prioritizing what's really important to you, you can understand that you just need a car to get from point A to B. And you're so much better off by buying a car instead of leasing it Because once you get that car paid off, transportation is one of the most significant levers that you can pull when you're trying to figure out how you can save more money, along with rent and your groceries. But once I paid off my car and was able to save an extra $6,000 a month, that was all put into my savings so I could reinvest that or use it to go on vacations or for something else. But since transportation was one of the most significant monthly expenses that I had, by bringing that down to zero, I've been able to save significantly more than I was in the past. The next habit that really helps me save money is to only buy big ticket items when they're on sale. Now, a lot of times what that means for me is that I need to be patient when it comes to buying something that I want. Last year, I wanted to get a new TV, and instead of getting it in June, which was when I really wanted it, I waited until Black Friday later that year and was able to save $1,500 on it. When it comes to getting clothes, I personally do like to invest in getting nice clothes because that means that it's gonna last a long time. But when I'm buying nice clothes, a lot of times that means it's going to be more expensive. But there's always gonna be sales for a holiday that's coming up. It's not just Black Friday, Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. Retail's always trying to do sales so that they can sell their product and move on to the next season. And so whenever it is that I'm in the market to buy new clothes, I'll wait until a holiday for a sale and then buy it in bulk. And last year, that ended up totaling me about $500 in total. Last year, I wanted to get the new iPhone, but instead of getting it right when it came out, I waited until later in the year when it was on sale so that I could get it for $500 cheaper. You don't need to get the brand new electronics when it just comes out because it's gonna be obsolete over a pretty quick period of time. And if it's a high quality piece of equipment, then it's gonna last a long time for you anyway. When I get my phones, I'm on a 4 to 5 year cycle with it instead of trying to upgrade every 2 years. And so I know that it's going to be a high quality piece of equipment. And so I don't feel like I'm in a rush to get it right away. And so I'll wait until it goes on sale because I just don't want to spend a top ticket price for a brand new item when I know that in a couple of months there's going to be a sale because they're going to already start to push out whatever the next product is. So just by waiting for things that I want to buy to go on sale and planning ahead, I was able to save about $3,000 last year. The last habit is that I track my expenses at the end of every single month. And that means I literally pull open my credit card statement for both my credit cards and my checking accounts and go line by line through to see where I spent money that month. And a lot of times what I end up finding is that I don't remember when I bought a certain thing. And so I needed to do a little bit of research to refresh my mind to figure out if it was something that I needed to buy or if it was something that I just wanted to. And every month when I do that, I almost always find some expense that I could have lived without, that I got, but I didn't necessarily need. And beyond that, all the time I find subscriptions that I'm paying for but haven't used the product for a couple of months. And so by going through that process and doing it every month, over the course of the year, I find about $200 worth in subscriptions that I don't need and I can cancel instead of just keeping it on the books. Because over the period of a year, $200 a month cumulatively in Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. I had Apple Music and Spotify subscription. And if I just kept that on the books, that would be $2,500 a year for stuff that I'd be paying for and don't even need. And it's kind of a death by 1,000 cuts when it comes with these subscriptions. Any one subscription isn't gonna make you go broke, but as they accumulate and if you ignore them, then they're going to snowball into being something that's meaningful. But if every month you go through and can track all of your expenses, then you'll be able to get ahead of the problem of those expenses snowballing, and you can just cancel the subscriptions before it gets to that point so that you can save more money over the long term. It's important to realize that these habits aren't just about saving money. It's about integrating your life so that you can build a life that you love. By cutting out a lot of these unnecessary expenses, what I've done is create more time and space for me to go after creative hobbies or pursue my ultimate dream of starting my own business. And by eliminating other distractions, I'm not just saving money, I'm figuring out how to lay the groundwork so that I can use my money to really help build the life that I love. And so if any of these resonated with you, then I would ask that you start to implement them today.